2024 Nissan X Trail e-4ORCE and the 2024 Skoda Kodiaq are both excellent 7-seater SUVs that offer a good balance of space, performance, and value. However, there are some key differences between the two models that may make one a better choice for you than the other. Price. The Nissan X Trail e-4ORCE is generally more affordable than the Skoda Kodiaq. The base X Trail e-4ORCE starts at $41,298, while the base Kodiaq starts at $56,490. Performance. The X Trail e-4ORCE is powered by a 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine that produces 147 horsepower and 141 pound-feet of torque. The engine is paired with an electric motor that produces 197 horsepower and 243 pound-feet of torque. The X Trail e-4ORCE can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.5 seconds. The Kodiaq is available with a variety of engines, including a 1.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine that produces 150 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, a 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine that produces 190 horsepower and 236 pound-feet of torque, and a 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine that produces 245 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. The Kodiaq can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 8.2 seconds with the base engine, 7.6 seconds with the 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine, and 6.6 seconds with the 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine. In terms of handling, the X Trail e-4ORCE is more agile than the Kodiaq. The X Trail e-4ORCE has a more responsive steering system and a lower center of gravity. Features. Both the X Trail e-4ORCE and the Kodiaq come standard with a variety of features, including a rear-view camera, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a 6-speaker sound system. The X Trail e-4ORCE also comes standard with a hands-free power liftgate, heated front seats, and a panoramic sunroof. The Kodiaq comes standard with a heated steering wheel, blind spot monitoring, and rear cross-traffic alert. Safety. Both the X Trail e-4ORCE and the Kodiaq received a 5-star overall safety rating from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA. The X Trail e-4ORCE also received a Top Safety Pick Plus rating from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, IIHS. The Kodiaq received a Top Safety Pick rating from the IIHS. Space. The Kodiaq offers more interior space than the X Trail e-4ORCE. The Kodiaq has more legroom and headroom in both the front and rear seats. The Kodiaq also has more cargo space, with 720 liters of space behind the second row and 2,065 liters of space with the second row folded down. The X Trail e-4ORCE has 445 liters of space behind the second row and 1,588 liters of space with the second row folded down. Overall, the Nissan X Trail e-4ORCE is a good choice for buyers who are looking for an affordable, fuel-efficient, and fun-to-drive 7-seater SUV. The Skoda Kodiaq is a good choice for buyers who are looking for a more spacious and feature-rich 7-seater SUV. Which is right for you? The best way to decide which SUV is right for you is to test drive both the X Trail e-4ORCE and the Kodiaq. This will give you a chance to experience the differences in performance, handling, features, and space for yourself. Looking for a practical 7-seat SUV? We compare two of the most popular choices. Buying a 7-seater is, on paper, incredibly simple. There are several van-based MPVs such as the electric Peugeot Airifter that offer plenty of space, while the Dacia Jogger can transport 7 people for less than 20,000 pounds. However, the majority of buyers desire more luxuries and style than either of these options offer, but can't quite stretch to the likes of the Land Rover Discovery, which starts from almost 60,000 pounds. Thankfully, several manufacturers offer 7-seat versions of their mainstream family SUVs. These are usually slightly larger than their 5-seat counterparts and, although slightly more expensive, are typically within the realms of affordability for many households. Two of the most popular choices in this segment are the Skoda Kodiaq and the recently renewed Nissan X Trail. While they couldn't be more different in terms of approach to the 7-seat family SUV formula, both cars offer all the style and space growing families could ever need. We've driven each SUV separately, and in this article, we'll compare our findings to help you decide which you should buy. If you wish to learn more about either car, or any new car for that matter, we have in-depth reviews elsewhere on our website. We also have lists of the best large SUVs and best 7-seaters, if you'd like to see what other options are out there. For now, watch on to see which is our favorite, the Nissan X Trail or Skoda Kodiaq. Which is the cheapest to run? Given they are often invariably used every day, a 7-seat family SUV must be economical to run. While both the Nissan X Trail and Skoda Kodiaq shouldn't break the bank to drive daily, both cars achieve their low MPG figures in entirely different ways. The Nissan X Trail utilizes the Japanese brand's e-PORERCE hybrid system, which is also found in the 5-seat Nissan Qashqai. Rather than using an electric motor to assist the petrol engine, the X Trail's petrol engine is instead used to directly charge a battery pack, which in turn powers the electric motor. While this seems like it should make the car much more efficient, it's less effective than you might think in this big, heavy SUV. Nissan states the X Trail will return 48.6 miles per gallon on the combined WLTP test cycle. This is still more efficient than a standard petrol engine. However, a diesel or plug-in hybrid car will inevitably return better fuel economy figures. Of course, there's also the mild hybrid model, which is less expensive to buy, though it will return around 8 less MPG than the e-PORERCE hybrid. Still, if you have a low annual mileage, this could be the one to pick. On the other hand, the Skoda doesn't get any form of hybrid assistance at all, instead relying on small, yet efficient petrol and diesel engines. While this means the Kodiaq will be of little interest to company car drivers due to its high benefit in-kind tax rating, its lineup of fuel-sipping engines means the Skoda is both cheap to buy and run for private customers. Models using one of the 2.0-liter diesel engines are said to return over 50 miles per gallon, whereas even the entry-level 1.5-liter petrol will do around 40 miles per gallon, thanks to cylinder deactivation, which can temporarily turn off part of the engine when it isn't needed. We don't want to lie and tell you either of these SUVs drive like a sports car, nor do they come close to a performance SUV such as the Porsche Macan in terms of handling. However, both cars can be more fun behind the wheel than you might initially suspect. With the top-of-the-range e-PORERCE hybrid system and 4-wheel drive fitted, the Nissan X Trail produces a healthy 210 brake horsepower, 201 brake horsepower with front-wheel drive. This means it gets from 0 to 62 miles per hour in around 7.5 seconds, however, it feels faster thanks to the mountain of torque from the electric motor. While there isn't a huge amount of feel through the steering, there's plenty of grip and body lean is kept well in check. The mild hybrid engine is a bit of a letdown though. With just 163 brake horsepower at its disposal, it feels rather underpowered for this size of car and is best reserved for city driving. The Skoda Kodiaq is even more fun to drive, with accurate steering and tight body control on a twisty road. To make the most of the car's well-tuned chassis, we recommend steering clear of the entry-level petrol and diesels and opting for one of the more powerful 2.0-liter units. Sitting at the pinnacle of the range is the Kodiaq e-4ORCE model, which utilizes a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, similar to the one used in the Volkswagen Golf GTI. This produces 242 brake horsepower and gets the Kodiaq from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 6.6 seconds, thanks to all-wheel drive traction. However, while adaptive dampers and a body kit do make the e-4ORCE feel slightly more sporty than the standard Kodiaq, it still can't quite offer the same thrills as our favorite hot SUV, the e-4ORCE, although that isn't offered with 7 seats. Ultimately, the e-4ORCE is rather thirsty for a family car and feels more like a trim level than a true performance car, so we'd stick with the SAL executive trim. Given you'll be sitting for ages in traffic during the school run or cruising on the motorway for long periods on family trips, a 7-seat SUV must offer a comfortable and pleasant interior. The Kodiaq's cabin is exactly what you'd expect from a Skoda, well-built and functional, but not exactly exciting. Unlike most modern cars that bury several functions within the touchscreen, the Skoda Kodiaq has plenty of physical buttons that are easy to operate when on the move. Speaking of the Kodiaq's infotainment system, the central touchscreen measures 8 inches diagonally, entry-level cars get a 7-inch screen, and is bolstered by a highly configurable digital instrument cluster. The X Trail's cabin feels like a giant leap forward from the car it replaces. Bar a few bits of trim, everything you touch feels exceptionally high quality and sturdy, plus the overall design is slightly more interesting than the Skoda's. The X Trail's optional 10-inch head-up display is one of the largest in the business, while the 12.3-inch touchscreen is incredibly responsive to your inputs. One caveat, however, is that the entry-level Vigia model doesn't even come with a touchscreen at all. This trim level only includes an old-fashioned radio, which is practically unheard of in a new car nowadays and makes it almost essential to step up to a higher specification.